flooding in some coastal areas was the worst seen in years. In southern Maine, the tide was the third highest since record keeping began. A major business area in downtown Kennebunkport was shut down when flooding in Dock Square forced town officials to close it off.
That's where we find News Center's Chris Rose tonight. Chris?
Well, Pat, the good news about tidal flooding is once that tide starts to go out, the water recedes fairly quickly. But by then, the damage here had already been done.
6 to 8 inches underwater, this whole area right here. Back here, you can see menus floating around.
When Luann McDonald went through her Hurricane restaurant in Dock Square on Thursday, the ocean was literally coming up through the floors.
And when I walked in, the outlets were underwater, and they were starting to smoke and spark, so I called the fire department.
This is a photo of her chef, knee-deep in water in the parking lot out back. The flooding was the culmination of a very long and very trying week for McDonald. Days earlier, a pipe froze and burst, forcing her to cancel 200 dining reservations on New Year's Eve.
Lost all of New Year's Eve reservations, completely booked. And now just trying to clean up the mess.
People who have worked here for decades say, I've never seen it like this.
Town manager Lori Smith says the storm and all of its many facets put a strain on the town's workers and resources.
We were concerned about the high winds and people with power outages and the cold temperatures. So we were focused on shelters and warming centers. The high tide, we did not expect it to the level that it did reach.
Smith says the only bright spot is that the flooding happened now and not a few weeks earlier in the middle of the town's Christmas prelude celebration.
Nothing you can do with Mother Nature.
Luann McDonald agrees. She was ready to close for the winter. Now she has some extra time to get ready for next season.
This is kind of crazy, this, you know, with the frozen pipes and then the bursting and then the tide, and now I'm trying to get cleaned up before the ice comes.
Well, now she has her sights set on spring. She expects to be open the last week in March, right in time for the Red Sox opening day and the busy Easter weekend.